Alright, so in this game I decided to play Byzantium. Now, Byzantium is one of the harder games to play, like one of the harder countries to play in this game, in my opinion. But initially I just decided to chill out a little bit, like get my initial army going, try and find some allies, but eventually an Ottoman player joined, and a war happened. Now, he was building up troops, so I just went in before he could just potentially build up more than I could. And then the war would probably just be over if I didn't. Anyway, he's making some attacks here. I'm trying to get the fort next to Constantinople so I can have a better defensive position. But his army gets routed a couple of times and eventually just uses mercenaries and captures Constantinople. Now, the run doesn't end. I actually beat him in this war, but it's like a nice little back and forth. So I think you guys might like to see that. Anyway, the war goal in this war is Izmir. So you saw me trying to siege a little bit earlier. I'm trying to send him a peace deal there, but he rejected it, and that's fine. Anyway, he's sieging Constantinople right there. I sent an army down, took Izmir, and I declined a peace treaty and got bowed over, blockaded it. And as he's trying to land in Turkey, I sent my navy after him and cut his army right out, the mercenary army. Anyway, I took what I wanted from him, and the Ottomans are sufficiently weakened now. Anyway, here I'm invading Epirus and trying to secure the rest of Greece, and I'm getting my cores established because, the cores are, yeah, the Byzantines have pretty good cores, honestly. Well, I should probably say claims, cores too, I guess, it's just Greece, basically. Anyway, I'm taking Serbia for more land here, and a bit later I go after the Ottomans again, but I think first I go after the Phoenicians. But before that, it's Albania. Now, Albania has a fort, so it takes a little bit longer, but it's fine. Well, it'd probably take up a little bit shorter if I didn't have a fort, but I don't really know. Anyway, here I'm invading Venice, but my game has a little thing called a crash. Yep, there it is, but if it comes back, don't worry. Anyway, the Venetian War is over. Yeah, very exciting, I know. Anyway, the Ottomans, I'm trying to prepare an army to go after them again. But this time the Mamluks, I think they're backing Venice here. Anyway, the Mamluks show up and they're trying to do like a peace war or something like that against me, I think. Anyway, I declare war on the Ottomans anyway, and I invade the Balkan provinces. But the Mamluks justify war, and they declare. But the thing is, the Mamluks are bankrupt, so even though I have an army like half the size, it still beats them anyway. I think I have some army buffs too. Anyway, here I'm invading the Ottoman lands in Turkey, while my ally Austria is dealing with Egypt. My army in Turkey is still going after the Ottomans, and the Ottomans is kind of being pushed back as of then. Anyway, the Ottoman War is over. I'm advancing to Mamluk territory now. And you have a Mamluk troop in, northern Syria. So that's cool, I guess. Well, you did. Anyway, here I'm, barging into the northern flank of the Mamluks, which is... If you're trying to play the Byzantines, you should probably secure the Arab world first. You might want to convert the Byzantines to Islam, by the way. It's better for, reducing any negative expansion stuff from, those areas. Now, this might impact, Bulgaria and those areas, but if you have Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Egypt, that's more important than Bulgaria. On average. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's more important. Anyway, the Mamluks are being the Mamluks over there, and I'm just wrapping up the Ottomans here. And I go after the Mamluks again, but around now I'm trying to get the small Turkish states so I can consolidate the rule over Anatolia. Because now it's just Ottoman land, and that's it. But anyway, I'm just beating up the Mamluks now. Austria's in a war in Germany. And they're calling me in, and I have troops in the Mamluks. I'm just, not going in as of then. I do go in a little bit later, but, not then. Anyway, here I'm going further into Egypt. I take some land from the Mamluks, the forts and that stuff, so it'd be probably easier to invade them if I wanted to do it again. Anyway, I send my army up to Germany and occupy some land. Right there. Now he does give me money on one of the deals, and it's fine. It's not that much money. It's a German state. It's just kind of how that works. Anyway, I think he went AFK for a little bit. But Venice exists, and I want his island, so I just offered to buy them instead, because he's out to France, so I don't really want to deal with that, like, another big war after having, like, 2 of them. Before, like, 1570. Anyway, here I invade the Mamuks again. The Horde is busy invading Iran. And here I'm doing some sly negotiations with the Horde, because at this point in the game, I thought he would go ahead and just invade the rest of Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, those areas, you know. But he didn't. I thought he would, but he didn't. Like, I thought he was just going to divide the Middle East. So I did, like, a little ploy to just take over Iraq. I got a problem with bordering Colonial. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, I go up to Colonial first, just to take his land, you know. But Colonial is still there, and I just decided to vassalize it, honestly. Same thing for Byzantium, but I do go AFK for like a little bit, so I just forget and just annex it entirely. Which is, I mean, it's okay, but not great. Anyway, I have a small rebel problem, which is, I mean, that's kind of how that works for Byzantine, so you can have some small rebel problems. I pronounced that briefly. Anyway, I'm just mopping with the rebels. I think I've vassalized the Colonial people already. But anyway, I'm just getting some reinforcements, dealing with the rebels. I didn't convert the provinces, because I didn't convert the Byzantines to Islam yet. And also, I just, you know, I didn't want to, yeah. Anyway, the Mamluks got kicked out of Syria. Yeah, around there. Yep, there it is. Anyway, I'm invading Arabia earlier, but generally the Mamluks are getting crushed. That's basically the summary here. Just taking some land, and I think I vassalized them here, I'm not sure. Anyway, I moved my army back north. I'm at around 25% to form my Rome, which is pretty, I mean, you might have expected more from owning like the entire Eastern Roman Empire, basically. But I mean, that's just how that works, I guess. Also, I don't have the province of Mesopotamia and the Roman Empire formable for some reason, which is, I don't know. Anyway, here I vassalized the Mamluks, because if someone else vassalized them, they'd probably get the Mamluk cores over Egypt, and I don't want that, because they probably just give the Mamluks their Egyptian lands. I don't want that, dude. Anyway, here I'm mapping up the small Turkish beyliks, and I invade Cyprus and, grab Cyprus. Anyway, there's also Trebizond, the knights are over there, and I just kicked them out. But by now the server is down to only a few people. It's not that many. Anyway, Spain, Italy, and Byzantines were there, but Italy just left. And I'm going after Byzantium right now. This is the part where I was talking about like me going AFK for a little bit, so I just kind of like awkwardly waited here for a little bit. And I just end up annexing them instead of like, yeah. That was intentional at the time, but I didn't really want to do that. In retrospect. Anyway, core some stuff, and I'm back. Oh yeah, I didn't mention, this is with really bad lag. So it's mostly just on 3 graphics the entire time. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so here I go and invade like North Africa, that general area. Because I could probably divide this video into like 3 parts. One part's like covering Ottomans and the Mamluks, like the eastern section. The second part's covering like Italy and like Tunisia, Austria, that general area, like Dacia, that area. And the third section will probably be like Spain and maybe Brazil. But that's about it. Anyway, here I go after Italy. Now, Italy is a bit hard to conquer, because they just have like a lot of forts, and I don't really want to deal with that much, so I avoid with the forts mostly. Which leads to a longer war, but it's fine. I think I sieged Rome in one of these wars. I think it's either the first or second one. It could be yeah, it's this one. Anyway, I siege some more countryside because Italy's pretty developed, so it goes pretty well for me. Anyway, a France and a horde player joined. The horde player stays for a little while, and by a little while I mean like a long while. Yeah, somewhere. Anyway, France is invading Austria, trying to get Switzerland because Switzerland is a vassal of Austria, and the horde's over being the horde in horde lands. Anyway, France is trying to siege Vienna here, I think. Well, they just left. Okay. Anyway, I'm going after Austria too because I didn't want France to just like steal my stuff for Rome. Anyway, France is, I think they're developing now, but I'm going after Austria here. I'm doing just fine. I'm just sieging more land. I think after Vienna very first. And yeah, there we go. Anyway, here I'm just checking out the land I have, and I'm claiming some more of Italy. Italy is really expensive to claim, so it's really not that fun, you know. But it's fine, I guess. Anyway, I have some rebels, so I just like deal with that. This run has a lot of rebels, honestly, but it's fine. If you have a big enough army, it's not that big of a deal. Just make sure to core. If you're playing a Byzantium run, make sure to core. Like, if you're able to, make sure to core. Because if you don't, you could probably have some really big problems. Probably. Anyway, my Mamuk vassal is coming to help me in Italy. And I'm advancing through the south. I split my army to 2, and I advance to Naples, here. I sent my boat out, but the navy doesn't work that much against AI, for some reason. It worked really well against the Ottoman player, just doesn't work against the guy that well. Anyway, here is siege Rome again. And the Italians come in, I think they come in again, or a third time, but it just fails every time. I send some reinforcements in, advance a little bit north of Rome, and they come in again. Switzerland declares independence around here, I think. And I take Rome. Anyway, I see the horde over on Horde Lands invading Georgia, I think. Yeah, Georgia. And that's not that great for me because I don't want them to, like, directly border me. But, I mean, they're friendly, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, I'm trying to get some Tunisian land because if you claim land and it has too many buildings in it, it's really expensive, from what I could tell. So, I don't want to deal with that, honestly. Anyway, I'm still coring and claiming some stuff in Italy, but I have a lot of stuff uncored and unclaimed. But I think I cored Rome there. If it ain't there, it's gonna be in a little while or some more. Anyway, I was just waiting around, trying to get some political power. I claimed the entirety of southern Italy to try and speed things up with the Italian campaign because it's been going for a little while. But Italy is doing pretty much fine. They're not actually able to resist me that well because I have a lot more manpower than they do, far as I'm aware. Because despite how developed Italy is, surprisingly, Egypt, Syria, Turkey, Greece, Bulgaria, Serbia, and Bosnia tend to have more manpower than them. Like, yeah, okay, the war is going pretty good so far. I'm going after Mantua and Milan here. I'm just gonna sieging the rest of Italy down. Anyway, Italy is getting invaded more here. And I'm coring some stuff, so I eventually don't have revolts. The thing about converting countries is that it's very unstable. Like, if you do it, you can get a lot of instability, and you might not want that. Anyway, Sinai has gemstones, so you might want to like build a building there to extract it if you're playing in that area. Also, Kosovo has gold, and I think one province in Austria does. So if you're playing like Serbia, you might want to, build up some stuff there and collecting Ragusa or Venice if you expand hard enough. Same if you're playing like an Austria campaign and just like collecting Venice. Honestly, if you're playing Austria, just like annex Venice. Just like ally to French or something. Anyway, the Horde is invading Italy. I didn't want him to do that, but he's going anyway. Italy's actually beating him, which is it's a thing. It's a thing. Also, that's Hungarian Sevastopol, by the way, if you guys are wondering. Anyway, I converted the Byzantines here. lower the instability a little bit, because it could lead to some rebellions, you know. But that's not that big of a concern for me right now. I'm putting out a rebellions here. This is basically like the Egyptian rebellions, but transport to Europe. And I'm trying to attack Europe, so it could lead to some more rebellions here. Anyway, I get rid of the knights there, and a bit earlier, and I get rid of the Greeks. Well, Greek-inspired people in Egypt. Anyway, it's around 1800, and I think it did a pretty good job in like consolidating Roman borders. The only required city according to the Foreign Bull is Tunis, but I don't get that now. I'm just trying to get to Italy, honestly. But before that, I think I'd go after Austria. I might still go after Italy first, I'm not that sure, but I think I just vassalize Austria first. And also try to get Dacia from the Hungarians and just like have them both be a vassal. So I can just like invade people if I want to. Anyway, the Horde left. I think a different Horde player joins. Or the same one. No, it's a different player. Anyway, the Horde, he has a lot of vassals. And I just put them down in like Southern Iraq. And I get Southern Iraq as a vassal because the vassal map didn't look that great without Musasha, I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. Anyway, I cored some more of Italy. I cored Venice, which is pretty important because Venice is like pretty important for trade. Anyway, I'm invading Austria here. I kicked the army out of Venice. Not Venice, Vienna. And I'm sieging Vienna and Budapest now. The Austrian army is moving down south to siege one province, I guess. That doesn't do much, honestly. Colonial makes a special guest appearance and invades Austria a little bit more. I'll take some Austrian land. I invade them again, I think, a little bit later. And I turn them into a vassal. But around here, I think I invade Italy. The thing is with Italy, they're small now, but that means they have a lot of forests and really condensed areas, and I don't really want to deal with that much, honestly. It's a lot to deal with. Anyway, just kind of wait a little bit, and I see some more forts. Yep, there we go. Anyway, I'm taking Genoa right here, because I don't want Genoa to be that expensive if I attack it. I sent some reinforcements to back it up. Just take a while, honestly, like in real time, but it's fine. I think around here, I start to have some rebel problems, but it's okay. I'm doing fine so far. Anyway, check out the Americas, and back to Italy. Back in Italy, I claim Sicily and some more central Italian lands. I basically turned it to Piedmont, which is pretty cool because I get more control over Venice. I'm redirecting trade to Venice to like reassert my trade power. Anyway, here I'm planning for the Austrian campaign. I'm invading Mamuk again to get connection to Sundgau in that area of Austria over in France. So I want to take the German lands, which is basically for the Rome Foreign Bull. I want to take the German lands and vassalize the rest of Austria. I think I did a pretty good job here as it is. I have some land invaded. I'm just getting some more land here, and I'm trying to like, yeah, there we go. And here's some rebels. The rebels get dealt with just fine, but like, I have a big rebel problem later. But as of now, the rebels are getting dealt with. The rebel problem doesn't really get over until like a little bit longer later. Anyway, yeah, there goes rebels. Now that Austria is a vassal, I was able to like use her army to invade Italy with, which goes pretty well. I was able to secure more of Italy here. But the thing is, there's like a rebel problem, so that just kind of hampers stuff, honestly. But the war goal is Piedmont, but I don't really want to sack the lands I'm trying to annex. So just like a noticeable avoidment of those lands next to Venice for a little while but eventually it just doesn't work like that. Anyway, take some more Italian lands. You might have noticed a little cut there, even though it's pretty seamless, that Italian lands got kind of annexed. Yeah, basically, I dealt the rebels, like I mopped them up eventually, but I had to go somewhere, so, you know. It's not that big of a deal. I'm dealing with Fizan here. I'm trying to go after Tunis. I got some more stuff done. I break the vassalship with the Mamluks to try and get my land back, because it revolted. But anyway, my vassals are doing just fine as of now. They're sending their armies down to Tunis. This is the African part of the campaign I was talking about earlier. The army is just getting rid of them near Algeria-ish. Anyway, here I capture Tunis and send some money equally against my vassals so they can maybe build themselves up a little bit. Disinfecting my vassals a little bit there. Anyway, I built up the Greek provinces so they look pretty good compared to earlier. And I'm claiming the Saharan desert states around here. Alright, so here I'm invading like Mazab, those like Saharan Tuareg states to try and get like a bigger border with Tunis and just expand my hold over Africa generally. But the border with Tunis was not the main goal. Anyway, here I claim some more land. This is like a really big filler area so I can get more like political power to claim stuff. The thing about Rome is that the core stuff, it's free. It's like completely free. It's crazy. It's so good. But the culture map looks pretty good for Greece there. I'm getting the rest of Tunisia down here. I'm just annexing them. But I don't really core much of them as of now. I'm invading the rest of North Africa here. But we're nearing the end of the campaign. Here I'm invading Tlemcen and then into Morocco. Now the thing about Morocco is that I want a colony in Brazil. And they're kind of in the way. So I just kind of kicked them out. I'm just waiting for a little bit, just trying to get like some political power. And get like a claim for a coastline in Morocco to the Atlantic Ocean. Anyway, now that Morocco has been successfully beaten up, I get my land. Like, yep, right there. And it's encored as, as expected. So apparently you can build a you can't build a port there and just expect to colonize Brazil. Like, there's only certain areas of Morocco you can build a world port and expect to colonize from. And Morocco only has like one province you could do that from. So that's not that great, honestly. Which is why you see Morocco players down just beating up Portugal. Anyway, here I'm trying to beat up Spain. I sent a little navy over because I thought it'd be more important, but just isn't. It only costs like 1k troops in Spain. That's not that much at all. Anyway, blockade the coast of Gibraltar. And I sent some troops over into Spain. One is, I think, the Fort of Granada. One crossed over from Morocco. The other ones, they went into Morocco earlier, like southern Morocco, south central Morocco. And I'm just modeling the Spanish troops right now. Anyway, the small rebellions in Sicily, I don't deal with that, so it just kind of becomes independent for a while. It's not that important, honestly. But I do form an army in anticipation of there being a rebellion. I just don't send it in. Which is fine, I guess, but it's, Anyway, I core Granada, but the thing is my army is taking attrition, so I just built it up. Pretty good development strategy. Anyway, here I'm trying to get the rest of Morocco here and claiming some more Spain, so I can probably get Spain a little bit later. But I want like a clean North Africa, so I just got Morocco. Anyway, with Spain, I'm trying to get some more claims. I think it's like this war, and then another war, and then I go form Rome. Which was the main goal of the video, by the way. Anyway, I'm just beating up Spain here, with like my troops going in. Nice little time lapse, honestly. But Spain just generally gets beaten up here pretty badly. And me sieging their provinces like this just lowers the claim cost, I think. So it's just easier to take land. Anyway, around here is the fall of Madrid. Yep, there it is. And on to Lisbon. Both of these are like big cities with like a lot of war score. Also, they just take Toledo because they want to, I guess. Well, I mean, there's probably a better reason for that, but, you know, to spawn troops there. Anyway, there goes Spain. I cored because I don't want it to revolt, basically. Because Spain's Christian. I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want the Italian problem, basically. Anyway, I claimed some more of Spain earlier. Here I'm studying Brazil, so you can officially say you have Byzantine Brazil. Like, for a little bit. You can officially say you've seen it. For some reason, Madrid is not that hard to claim here. It's just not that expensive. Anyway, the Byzantine border is like really nice here. I claim some more of Brazil. And I form an army up, and I invade Spain again. Which is nice. Anyway, Spain gets pulverized again with my armies just like moving right around. Porto was building a fort, so I was able to just like take it very easily. My army in Madrid is just sitting there. Eventually took it. It's just chilling there for a little bit, and eventually onto Lisbon. I form a mercenary army, and the thing is, I want to like war score, so I just advance on Bogota with a mercenary army, which is probably the farthest a Roman army has went in this game, honestly, but it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, here I want to form Rome. I just deal with some rebels first, send my army in motion, take a little screenshot, and I form Rome. There we go. And immediately after forming Rome, I get some nice little rebels. Cool. Anyway, I form my army, deal with the rebels, mostly. That guy gets stuck. I don't know, you should probably ask like a mod to fix that or something. But anyway, the army got stuck over there. But the rest of the rebels are mostly dealt with in this video.